Hello, vinyl community, and anyone else who happens to have stumbled across this video series. John with you. It's time to continue looking at my Hawaiian record collection, one album at a time. And today we begin a new letter. Yay! The letter K. So the letter K is huge in Hawaiian music. You can imagine there are many artists whose names or recording groups begin with the letter K. So we have quite a long journey to get through the letter K ahead of us. So let's get started. Okay, first up in the letter K is an album on Kaahea Records called Live at Shipwreck Kelly's, Billy Kay and the Seaman. I don't know if there's any intentional joke in their name, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know. But Shipwreck Kelly's is a bar that used to be part of the Holiday Isle Hotel. That's where these guys performed. And they just did this one album. It says their first album on the liner notes, but I'm not aware of any other one. And I don't know why, because they're actually quite a good group. Really nice harmonies. Sort of plugging the Holiday Isle Hotel there, who must have partially funded this or something. But a mix of Hawaiian songs and some English language pop songs and several songs that members of the group themselves composed. Another group that performed in Waikiki in the hotels, Elekas, or the Elekas, present a love story of Hawaii. Now, I love this picture, right? This is a great old-time, literally, there's the little hotel bar, and here are the people sitting around listening to it in their Hawaiian attire and bouffant hair. Group members are listed there. 4 of them. This is a vocal group, and they also play instruments. Performing at the Reef Hotel, where they were called the Sound of 6x2. But with the addition of a few other members, they are now Elekas. And this is very much a lounge sounding group, doing Hawaiian songs mostly. The name of the group and the name of the album, Kaleo Hawaii. Now, this album was recorded in 1977, and if you are familiar with traditional Hawaiian music and you look at the group members here, this in a way sort of became a who's who of Hawaiian music in later years. Many of these people became quite well known in their endeavors. But most of these, I believe, people at the time of the recording of this were at the kind of university age. And it is entirely original compositions by members of the group and entirely in the Hawaiian language. And it is really a beautiful, beautiful album, I have to say. If you are wanting an introduction to Hawaiian music, or you don't know much about real Hawaiian music and have an interest in it, if you ever see this album, which was never released on cassette or CD to my knowledge, if you ever come across it in a record shop or a thrift store or online or something, I highly recommend getting this album. It's a beautiful, beautiful album. Mary Kavena Pukui, Malia Craver, Lindsay Kimura, Kaniala Akaka, Alan Akaka, Aaron Mahi, Lolena Michaels, Haunani Bernardino, Haunani Apoliona, Glenn Silver, George McGuire, Ainsley Helemanu, Clay Mao. If you are familiar with traditional Hawaiian music, you go like, wow, those people all recorded an album together before they were well known on their own. Yeah, it's a great record. And beautiful harmonies, very sweet sounding. Love it. This is an interesting album. Henry Kaahea, Hawaiian classical guitar. Now here in Hawaii, we're accustomed to hearing Hawaiian music on what is called slack key guitar, which is a Spanish guitar, but tuned to an open tuning. However, the player is comfortable playing or wants to play, and it has a very unique sound to Hawaii. Now this gentleman here did something a little bit different. He is classically trained in the Spanish guitar and studied in Spain. He is a gentleman from Hawaii, born and raised and lived, but studied Spanish guitar and went to Spain to study Spanish guitar as well. And he performs these really beautiful traditional Hawaiian songs and a few original compositions on the Spanish guitar in these more Spanish classical styles. So something different. Hi'ilave, E Mama, E Kaulana Napua, all performed on the guitar, but in the Spanish style. This is from the 80s, sometime in the 80s. Upcountry Productions on Maui. Henry Kaahea. Now here's one of those records that's unusual, and that you're not going to find very many vinyl copies of this record, because it came out during that weird period here in Hawaii where the LP was, most of the local record companies stopped issuing vinyl and they were going to cassette. They didn't go to CD for quite a long time, and there was not a long time, but for a few years there's a time period, late 80s, where, and maybe very early 90s, where everything was on cassette. So those things that came out during that time period, there are not a lot of them around because obviously the cassettes didn't make it. However, thank goodness Kaanoi Records had the foresight to issue vinyl LPs that they gave to radio stations who were still wanting to really play the vinyl. So this one's from 1986. Kaai, who's a slack key guitar player, and friends. Something old, something new. And I believe this is all instrumentals, yeah. Kalakaua Medley. Lovely Hula Girl is the song. I remember I was working at KCCN when this came out, and that was the song they were promoting at the time. Kuahivi Slack. Little Garden Jamboree. I think he did one other cassette. I'm not sure. I have not run across it yet. But anyway, yeah, interesting. You'll most likely find it as a cassette if you find it at all. An album from 1973, Pat Kaanoi. Looking very loungy there, right? This is a return album, I guess, according to these liner notes. He had been on the mainland for a while doing some appearances and came back to Hawaii. My Desire, I Am Hawaii. The song Hawaii, I Am Back, duh. 1974. Actually, that's the date. And he did another album as well later on. This one's from the 80s. The Four Islands, Namoku Eha, Pat Kaanoi, or Pat Kaanoi, if I'm really being correct. Namoku Eha means the Four Islands. So this album is essentially a salute to the four major islands, Hawaii, Maui, Oahu, and Kauai. And many, if not all, of the songs were written by Pat Kaanoi. It is a mix of vocals and instrumentals, and he does some of the native nose flute playing. There's some percussion solo type numbers on here, ipu on the drums, and then some singing. I always really liked his version of Namoku Eha, which is It's a very simple arrangement, but I kind of like it. I used to play it at KCCN quite a bit because I liked it. But this is an interesting album, and it is from 1986, yeah. Alright, let's stop there and listen to some samples from some of these records.
All my thoughts are only you. All my dreams have now come true, now and evermore. The morning sun, makani ho e haili, makani ho ili, innocent Mali, innocent Mali. They say that Maui no Kaoi, and I agree, 'cause Maui no Kaoi is the only place for me. That's where you'll find me.
I hope you enjoyed those needle drops, and will join me on the next video. Please subscribe if you want to see more. If you like this kind of music, I would invite you to check out a couple of different venues. Live 365, I have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week online radio station featuring music all from my Hawaiian vinyl collection. It's called Hawaiian Hi-Fi. Also, you can check out Hawaiian Leisure Hour. That's my other YouTube channel that has selections from my records, and also Hawaiian Leisure Hour on 8tracks.com, where there are curated playlists of music from my Hawaiian records. So plenty of options there to hear in full selections from my Hawaiian record collection. So thanks for joining me, and we will see you next time.